So we're going to have wellness. We already have the golf. We have the beach. We have a location that is truly magical. Finally, the fact that you can fly into Loretto, because Loretto has an international airport. So right now, where are the areas that are servicing direct flights?
So we have direct flights from Dallas, from Phoenix, from Los Angeles, Calgary, which is really big,
Tijuana.
and Tijuana.
Welcome to the Nick Fong Podcast. As the broker and owner of Ronival Real Estate, Nick has spent nearly 20 years in Baja California Sur. And in this podcast, he'll be talking everything Baja, from food and culture to real estate and property management. And now, here's your host, Nick Fong.
Welcome back to the podcast, and today I find myself in Danzante Bay in Loretto with two of our agents, Carey and Danea. Danea. She's a lady of many different names. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Why don't we start off by telling everyone a little bit about who you are, and we'll start with ladies. Dee, you're up.
Well, hello. My name is actually pronounced Danea. I prefer to be called Dee if there's any trouble on pronunciation. I come from Jalisco. Most of my family lives in Mazatlan, and I've been in Loretto for about 7 years, and the Baja area for now 11 years.
And so you actually started your Baja experience in Cabo.
Correct.
And so you've been here for a number of years, but I think Carey has you beat. Carey, tell everyone where are you originally from?
I have a lot of people beat here. Originally from, I grew up in San Diego. I retired from the U.S. Coast Guard in 1989 or 1988. Had two baby boys. We were living in Newport Beach. My ex-wife at the time but we moved to Cabo San Lucas in 1992.
All right.
So this last September was my 30th anniversary here in the Baja Peninsula.
And so you were raising a family, working in Cabo for a number of years, and you moved here along with Dee several years ago. Why did you guys make that move? We had dinner last night, everyone, and so they told me the story, but I thought it was a great story. If you can compress that story, maybe, Carey, tell everyone.
Me compress a
Yes.
story? Okay.
I could.
There you go. Probably better
All right,
than
Dee,
tell the story.
tell us the story of how you guys were introduced to Loretto.
So we worked in the resort industry. We worked for the Villa Group in Los Cabos, and Carey and I used to work in the Villa Group in Los Cabos, and he was invited to work here. We came to Loretto, fell in love, madly in love with the place, and here we are. We built a home in another development just down the street, and now we're super happy here. Was that fast enough?
That was quite fast.
That's very compressed.
How about
I thought I'd love to hear a little bit of the drama that went in. So Carey was the first one to come here, and he had an ultimatum, actually, and everyone... Dee is making it sound like Loretto is the most magical and beautiful place, which it is, but a lot of people coming from the Cabo area come here and think to themselves, boy, it's pretty slow. The pace is very low. There aren't a lot of shopping options, Dee, right?
I could probably rate it a little bit more, because when I first got here, I felt, coming from Cabo or Mazatlan, which is where I used to live before, no options for shopping, no movies, no huge restaurants, no big fancy marina. So yeah, it took a little bit of time to adjust, but once
So you send this guy on a 30-day mission.
Correct.
And that was?
So I was offered a position as a sales manager for the vacation ownership, which is what I was doing back in Cabo with the Villa Group. Living in Mazatlan, just kind of semi-retired. They said, no, Carey, you got to come check this out. So good friend of mine, I knew that he wouldn't steer me wrong. I hopped on an airplane and I came over here. Danea, on the other hand, said, I'm not going there. That doesn't appeal to me at all. But here's the deal. If you can write X amount of dollars, basically make $10,000 in commissions in your first 30 days, then I will join you.
Okay.
So that was the ultimatum she made me, which of course I was able to do.
Right.
And so she had to come.
Yeah.
You know? So she came. It took a little while. I think it was when she first got in the ocean here that everything changed.
Absolutely.
Why, you know, ocean to a lot of people is ocean. It's blue, it's wet, right? But what is it about Loretto's water that's different than Cabo's?
I've lived by the ocean most of my life. The type of waters that we have here are so tranquil. And you can see a lot of nature. So lots of fish. I paddle, right? So as I'm paddling, I get to see fish, rays. I run into a turtle once. I've seen porpoises. Like, I've seen all sorts of things.
And I would say that part of the allure is that when you are vacationing here or living, you realize how much we underappreciate nature and the slow pace of life.
Absolutely.
Because what's one of your preoccupations, Dee, about selling real estate to the area? Mainly about traffic and the congestion.
Yes, I don't want it to be overpopulated, like too much traffic. Yeah,
and that's really interesting. That's a double-edged sword because what you guys do is sell the area, but at the same time, you don't want to oversell it.
Correct.
Sure, exactly. I think it's one of the things that I love about this particular project. You know, just as we were coming in today, or we were coming into the project, I was taken again by the expanse of the whole project. 4,500 acres is a massive amount of land.
Just for everyone, we're located, as I mentioned earlier, in Danzante Bay, and it's a great transition. So, Carey, so we're in Danzante Bay. What is Danzante Bay?
So Danzante Bay is a 4,500 acre planned golf course, ocean beachfront community. And if you think about 4,500 acres, it was like take your house and go a couple of miles that way, go a couple of miles that way, and a couple of miles that way. If everything was perfect around you, and you knew everything was always going to be perfect around you, that's what this is. So when you look at the size of the project and the low density of what's being built inside of it, obviously because the first thing they did was build a 18-hole golf course.
Tell us about the golf course.
It's the only, we should always have an only thing that we can do that nobody else can do, all right? Well, we've got that. It's the only tournament players club course in Mexico. So it is a PGA course, it's a TPC course, designed by Reese Jones.
And what does that mean? That means PGA can have tournaments?
Absolutely.
Here.
Absolutely. The TPC was really designed for tournament players to have a place to play when they're not playing tournaments. Right? So the same people that are on the tournament, on the pro tours, they still need to golf. They need to practice and they need to have places to go. So typically those are some of the most beautiful places on earth. You know, TPC Sawgrass as an example. People are very familiar with TPC Las Vegas, TPC in Arizona. They're typically in places that are beautiful places to go or live or vacation. And this is the only one in the country of Mexico.
What makes this golf course extra special?
I'm going to say 17.
Hole number 17?
I'm going to say it's incredible.
What is it about hole number 17 that makes it special?
The views. I was talking to a client and he had just played Pebble Beach. And I think their signature hole is 7.
I believe so.
I believe it's 7. And he was saying 7 has nothing on 17.
Really?
It is magnificent. The words of my clients.
What I've heard from a lot of the clients that golf on a regular basis is they'll say like, well, this part of the course over here, I feel like I'm in the Red Rocks of Sedona. And then when I'm playing this hole, I feel like I'm at Kaanapali. And then when I'm playing this over here, I feel like I'm on the Nepali cliffs of Kauai, you know. So it's all of those things that come together. The ocean holes, the desert holes, the canyon holes. It's magnificent.
So that's golf, but we're situated on miles of oceanfront. And so what kind of activities does Danzante Bay offer to both guests and owners?
Just about everything except surfing. Right? I'm a surfer.
You're a surfer.
I'm a surfer. So there's a little secret spot. I'm not going to tell anybody about, but it's one of the longest right point breaks on the planet, and it's just 3 hours away on the other side. So that keeps me happy. There's paddling. So both, stand-up paddling. I'm a prone paddler. Of course, there's kayaking. There's snorkeling. Anything you can do in the ocean. Some of the most amazing scuba diving you could possibly do.
Incredible.
Out here, the islands of Loretto. This whole area was caused by seismic shifting and volcanic action a very long time ago. So when you're diving these islands, it's almost like you're mountain climbing upside down.
Oh, crazy.
It is.
Do you guys dive or snorkel?
I haven't yet the diving, but the snorkeling is amazing.
Hey, thanks for being a part of the Nick Fong podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast to get the latest updates. And if you're watching this on our social channels, please like and share. And if you want to be featured or you want me to talk on a certain topic, food, activities, culture, real estate in the Baja, drop a comment. Loretto is very famous for the islands, and I know I've done it, and a lot of our clients also have toured the islands. What amazes me is how much wealth is here with their private yachts, and they don't want to tell anyone about Loretto.
We don't want to let the secret
Well,
out.
there's one of the prettiest marinas. I'm retired U.S. Coast Guard, so I've seen a lot of marinas all over the world. As a matter of fact, I lived on a boat when I was a kid in one of the nicest marinas in San Diego, Harbor Island. The marina here is just down the coast a little bit, is one of the prettiest marinas on planet Earth, and it's appropriately named Puerto Escondido, which means hidden port. Yeah. If you don't know where it is, you'll never see that thing. It's that hidden, but it's magnificent.
I told you about that last night when we were driving to town to meet you for dinner. Puerto Escondido. It's amazing, and they actually have residences right there.
Indeed.
On the marina.
There's yachts in there that put the yachts in Cabo to shame.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
Okay, so we have the water activities, the golf, and there is a resort currently on site inside of Danzante Bay.
Correct.
Tell everyone about, because you worked there.
Sure, so Villa del Palmar at the Islands of Loretto is its official name. It's a magnificent resort. It's got, studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, penthouses. It's also a vacation ownership opportunity for people. So it's magnificent. It's got 3 restaurants. It's got all of the amenities and bars. It's a beautiful place to come stay.
Huge spa.
Huge spa, the biggest spa.
2-story spa that overlooks the golf course on the wet areas.
Yeah.
It's just magnificent.
So it's a great place. You can book a hotel and experience this area, Danzante Bay. But we're sitting in the first full ownership condo options in Danzante Bay.
Indeed we are.
So the name of the project is?
The name of the project is Mantarraya Residences.
And in Spanish, Mantarraya means?
Mantarray.
Mantarraya.
So pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty easy. So one of the things that this bay is famous for, and this whole area, back in 1972, the Mexican government declared all of this area a marine reserve. So no commercial fishing. So there's literally every variety of fish in the world in these waters out here. Jacques Cousteau was famously quoted as calling this the aquarium of the world. Now, one of the things that's always out here are giant manta rays. And so one of the activities is snorkeling with manta rays out here. And because of that, the developer decided to call it Mantarraya.
Got it. And so the unit that we're in is one of several units the developer is offering. Can you tell us a little bit about the project itself, Mantarraya?
Okay, so the project itself, Mantarraya, we have 4 towers with a hotel, nice little hotel in the front. Everything has ocean views. This particular tower that we're sitting in a villa, ground floor villa. We have 43 units, 2 bedrooms for the most part, about 28 of them. And 3 bedrooms available. Our 4 bedrooms are gone, unfortunately.
Yeah. First to go. And prices are starting at what price range?
Price range starts at about mid 400s. up to the most expensive units right now, and this is pre-construction pricing, it won't last for long. The most expensive are the penthouses that are left up on the top and these ground floor villas at about just a little over $1 million.
And we just launched this project, and you've already got reservations on the books.
We've got reservations on the books. We actually have 3 units that will probably be closing this week. We'll actually be closing on those units this week. You know, I was late for this thing just because we're touring again today and more people interested in it. And
tell everyone about the elevators, because this is something very unique that the elevators, condo building, 6 stories, you have an elevator, but what makes the elevator system extra special in Mantarraya?
So the elevators are double-door elevators, you know, the kind that you might picture in a hospital, but now picture that elevator but a luxury elevator. Right?
But architects works really nice.
Really nice. He was just telling us this morning.
Yes.
So as an example, this unit that we're in, this is a ground floor unit. So right over there, we have a front door that goes out to the beach, all right? There's a service entrance. That's for the, you know, your maid or whoever's going to be doing your laundry or whatever to come in that way. But the main entrance to the unit is from the elevator. So let's say you're coming in from your car, right? You get out of your car, you got your groceries, you just walk right over to the elevator, push the button, door opens up, takes you right to your unit, your elevator opens, and you walk right into your unit.
So it's elevator into the unit. And so that...
Every unit has that.
And what's interesting about that, I've only seen that typically in penthouses.
Correct.
So you can have that feature in a
second floor, 2-bedroom unit.
In your 2-bedroom unit,
yes,
correct.
Indeed.
That's incredible.
Indeed. So you can walk upstairs if you're looking for the exercise, but yeah.
Okay, and so because we're inside of a master plan community and it's being developed by a resort developer, what are some of the things that you typically wouldn't get in a regular average run-of-the-mill condo project, but being in a resort area in a master plan community, what makes this different?
The first thing that comes to mind for me is infrastructure. All right, because it is a master plan community, it's been built backwards as opposed to what you would normally expect. Right? What I'm used to and what I've seen is, okay, we're going to build this tower, and then we're going to build a golf course, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. This developer did it the other way around. Let's build a golf course, one of the best in the world.
Right.
We'll already have a resort in place that's already got restaurants and bringing people in. Let's put in the infrastructure, the roads, the sewage, the lighting, everything underground. Let's do all that, and then let's build a condo.
Right.
So that's all in place. And then within the grounds of Mantarraya itself, you're going to have a resort hotel, a 5-star resort hotel, boutique, 79 rooms.
Correct.
Right? Boutique in size, right? Boutique in size, small in size. But 5-star in luxury. Right. So right within the project itself, let's say you're sitting here in your 3-bedroom unit and you decide you don't feel like cooking. So you pick up the phone and call room service from the hotel. You're having a party tonight. Don't feel like cooking. All right, let's have the chef from the hotel, from the restaurant, come up and take care of that for us.
That's amazing. And also people at the front desk, people being able to valet, that kind of extra level of service that
absolutely
a normal condo project wouldn't be able to offer.
No. The clients I was touring today in one of the purchases already, somebody bought a penthouse and they also bought a 2-bedroom unit. The 2-bedroom unit was purchased as a rental income property. You know, this is while it's a resort course, the only people that can play it are people that are staying on the property. So that immediately gives these units value as rental income properties. And of course, that will all be done within the inside of this project.
And something, I'm sorry to interrupt, something I failed to mention was the additional amenities that will have the property. So like pickleball. Thank you. We'll have a wellness center, of course, a kids area, garden areas, just things that are additional for the people that are owners at this particular.
So you mentioned something that is a hot button for a lot of real estate projects, communities, is the whole wellness concept.
Correct.
Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm 64 years old, all right? Didn't really care about wellness until about 5 years ago. And it's become literally the most important thing in my life these days. You know, And I think for a lot of people, we're becoming more and more aware of, what we eat matters, how we exercise matters. And it's not just, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 2 days a week. Right. It's a whole different lifestyle change. And the concept of this whole project is this is where you come for that lifestyle change, right? You experience all of it here. So the wellness is not, when we talk about wellness, we're not just talking about, oh, you can go over there and get a Swedish massage for 40 minutes, right? This is a place where you come, there will be classes that teach, about better eating. There will be people on site that work with you, as a lifestyle change, to work on just living healthier.
Breathing, better sleeping, better eating, nutrition, your gut health, those type of things, probably yoga, I'm thinking.
Oh, absolutely.
So yes, focus more on the overall.
So we're going to have wellness. We already have the golf. We have the beach. We have a location that is truly magical. Finally, the fact that you can fly into Loretto, because Loretto has an international airport. So right now, where are the areas that are servicing direct flights?
So we have direct flights from Dallas, from Phoenix, from Los Angeles, Calgary, which is really big.
Tijuana.
And Tijuana. Now, most people wouldn't think of, I'm going to fly out of Tijuana, but they built the Cross-Border Express. So the Tijuana airport is not actually in Tijuana, it's in Otay Mesa. And that little town is actually half in the United States and half in Mexico. So you park on the US side, you walk across a little breezeway, and now you're inside the Tijuana airport. It's fantastic, and you're here in an hour and 40 minutes.
An hour and 40 minutes, it's direct, and the rates are cheaper also.
They are indeed, because you're not
domestic.
You're not crossing an international border by air, so you don't pay all those taxes.
This is important for people to know. Calafia Airlines is what flies directly out of Tijuana, and Volaris also has a few options.
Awesome. So you have direct flights from the US and in Canada, and within Mexico to the International Airport of Loretto. And how many minutes is the airport to Danzante Bay?
About 20.
Okay, so it's very close.
Very close.
And what we were mentioning, you don't want too many people to come here, but I coerced you to do this podcast and tell everyone about the area and Danzante Bay. I appreciate that. And if anyone needs to tour the project, they can look you up. We'll share your contact information. Carey, Dee, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Nick.
And everyone, these are the two. If you want to see Mantarraya, get a good overview of history, the activities, Carey, Dee, and until the next one, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronival Real Estate and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronival. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at Ronival.com or findmexicohouses.com. Hasta luego.